Welcome to the PTTS. Today's date is January 25th, 2026. My name is Nang Hong Lam. Anyway, at this rate, I'm going to basically kill myself horribly, just and the most unimaginable way to kill myself, just come up with basically like the recent Photoshop I made. It just made a picture of me like just a blood coming out of my eyes, nose, mouth, ear, and another picture of me being burned at the stake, basically like this fire around me, and in this very tormented expression on my face, like as so I don't know, like just come up with something that just wanted to kill me, like in just so imaginable pain and suffering, and just like anyway, I don't like, I'm just saying, pretty much, I should have focused, because I've been really just dealing with a lot of tough struggles, is because of my low income family status and immigrant status, done like a lot of struggle in my life, and was just really beating the odds. Got accepted as a journalist of the Beachcomber during my high school years, which I felt like it's just like beating a lot, like the overwhelming odds, is pretty much, just like. And I think I felt like that was the reason, was that I was able to kind of think that I might have a chance, because journalists, like I get to tackle all the really tough arguments in my life as a journalist and things like that. I felt like, like, anyway, so pretty much I thought that was, that could have gave me that beating overwhelming odds, getting accepted as journalist of the Beachcomber back in my high school year. Thought, maybe just not, maybe have a kind of like wouldn't end up like this, have to come up with unimaginable way to kill myself. It's like, anyway, I don't want to, I pretty much I just don't want to make my situation worse by saying that, I shouldn't have got beating the overwhelming odds to be accepted as journalist, should have focused on artistic, drawing and everything, kind of draw a really well picture of me, dying so horrifically, and people maybe would accept that picture as a masterpiece or something, maybe, it's like, I just have to pause the video. It's just like to just stop myself from not going there, it's just I'm beating overwhelming odds to be accepted as a journalist. Stop, don't do this to myself, it's like, okay, I have to pause the video again, because again, just don't get into these kind of argument, pretty much. That's why I have to pause the video to just stop on these, kind of to put a stop on these kind of arguments. Okay, so pretty much the brainstorm is to go back to my timeline of the accumulated events of my life, go back to that timeline, and to the really the consider as the most crucial one. So for now, because I am, I felt that my PTTS exclusive first magazine might be my final redemption. So pretty much go back to how PTTS started. So start from there. So how PTTS got started, and then each events is, and then once that done, then I'll select another crucial events is and go with that timeline. So for now, since I felt like the PTT exclusive first magazine might be my final redemption. This one that I'm working very hard on, that might be my final redemption. So I'm gonna start with that for now, and it's gonna take a while, and I'm not gonna push myself too hard, just like 1 hour a day, just go 1 hour a day, just go through the timeline 1 hour a day, explaining step by step, how it all happened and everything. 1 hour a day, just like, Okay, so pretty much I have to pause the video because I want to just keep it at that for the brainstorm for right now. And also, well, I felt both, maybe because the PTT exclusive first magazine, I have put a lot of work on it, and also, so kind of just go through the flyer that I have made, kind of just go through before I begin the PTT, this brainstorm that I'm brainstorming about, talking about my timeline, how PTTS got started. So before I start on that, I'm gonna go through that flyer basically to show the date of each of the, pretty much like each day is the post date, each of the posting date, pretty much like what content's gonna post up and things like that. So I'm gonna go through that flyer, then I'll begin talking about the time, like the timeline, how PTTS got started and things like that. Anyway, as for Bastard Retribution, I will update on that, and that also is pretty much the both. Like I'm saying, you have to hear the update right now. I'm not gonna. So for now, I'm just focusing on the brainstorm of the how I'm gonna be talking about how PTTS started. So pretty much, in this session, I'm just gonna stick with that for now. So once I begin that session, I'll talk a little bit more on that, also on the Bastard Retribution, Paradox Incognitos. Okay, so that will be all for this sessions. And if I have anything else I want to add to it, I will add to the next sessions. Thank you for watching PTTS. Thank you for following PTTS. I'm gonna end this video in 3, 2, 1.